All right, John, you ready?
I'm ready, sir.
Let's talk. It's just you and me. So no Chad. Chad will be back next week. No, Chad will be back in 2 weeks
The
because he's
22nd, he's coming.
yeah. Hopefully he'll be back because he said that's
What are
the
we doing next week? Next week, it's got to be a light week. Well, I guess Aqueduct will be open, but
yes.
what
We
else?
got
Is that
Aqueduct next week, and we also have a couple of races at Churchill. So
oh,
Aqueduct has two
Churchill's
grade
open? When does
threes.
Churchill reopen?
Looks like
I
that's the day it
guess-
reopens.
yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it says Aqueduct's got two grade threes on the 17th, and Churchill has 5 races, including 3 grade threes.
Oh, okay. So we'll have plenty of options.
Yeah, so that'll work out. So hopefully we'll have some good races. And I was saying to Chad, because you referenced this many times before, and it's just hitting home now more than ever, is that we're doing so many like big races now over the last few months that even when you win these races, there's just not a lot of money to be made because the horses are so good and the odds are so low. It's like this is
And
a
how about the
refresher.
fact? How about the fact that the fields are so
And the
short?
fields are so short. So here we've never done Kentucky Downs before.
From a gambling point of view, I would rather bet a $10,000 claimer with 12 horses in it
Yeah.
than bet these great races that for the fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's why even this week is good because we got
Yeah,
we
this
got
week you have full fields.
yes.
They're hard races. There's nothing easy about these races. But
Yeah. Talk about Kentucky Downs. So this is a hilly
it's a
course.
European style turf course. They go up and down hills, literally up and down hills. They'll go up a hill, and then even when they're turning for home, they're going up a hill. So that makes it that much harder. It's just crazy. Listen. It's so important to bet horses that have run well here in the past.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
That's
Okay.
key. Everyone always says, "Oh, horses for courses, horses for courses." Well, that's horses for courses, literally here, because you either love this or you can't deal with it. So we'll find out.
Yeah. That's that. Yeah. And I was going because even the first race, and by the way, we're going to be doing races 9, 10, and 11 at Kentucky Downs. And as usual, if you're not a Patreon member, you're going to get just one race, but we're not going to be handicapping the whole race. We're just going to give quick analysis and picks on race 9. And then for Patreon members only, that's /Prime SN. You could check it out on the description area of the page. Just click on the link, go to Patreon, sign up, $5 a month. And if you don't like it for whatever reason, you can cancel it any time. And we're going to have races 10 and 11 on our Patreon page. That's the Kentucky Turf Cup Stakes and the Mint Ladies Sprint Stakes, races 10 and 11. But the first race we're going to talk about, this turf race, 6 furlongs, FanDuel Turf Sprint Stakes, $1 million race. How about that? At Kentucky Downs. What does this includes 450 KTDF mean? What is that stuff?
If you're bred in Kentucky, I don't know. They give you some more money
Bonus.
if you have to win. Yeah, you get bonuses too. So
all right,
they're just throwing the money away. By the way, just before we begin, I'd like to. People have been texting me and emailing me, all wanting to know about Flightline. What Flightline ran? So Flightline ran off the charts. He ran a -2. It's like as good as it gets. A couple of horses in the past have run -3, like Spectacular Bid and other horses, but to run -2 in career start number 5, I listened to your guys' show on Tuesday, and you all figuring out how to beat him and all that. Let me save you all some time. You're not beating him.
Yeah.
The only way you're beating him is if he beats himself. He's going to be doing something interesting for the first time, by the way, in the Breeders' Cup. He's coming back relatively close. I mean, he's a 4-year-old that has 5 lifetime starts. He only has 2 starts all of this year. So from the Pacific Classic until the Breeders' Cup, I think it's like maybe 2 months, time off between races, which for him is not a lot. So if anything's going to beat him, it's the time off, not enough time coming into the race. But that being said, I don't know who's going to beat him.
Yeah, I mean, look, if he ends up retiring at the end of the year, maybe he goes undefeated. Most likely he goes undefeated. The thing is that when you compare it to the great horses of the past that have actually ran for several years and have like 20 starts on them, they eventually are going to get beat. It's just
yes, of course.
So the more races, the more chances that something's
you have of having a bad day and throwing in a clunker.
Yeah.
We get that. But believe me, everyone's talking. Oh, he's going to run next year. His owners came out. One of his owners and said, "Oh, we plan on running him next year." Total BS. He will not be running next year. You heard it here first. When I see it, I'll believe
Too
it.
valuable.
They can't afford to pay the insurance on this horse. Besides everything else, he's going to come up with some injury, a minor injury, which is going
Scares
to,
them off. Yeah.
yeah, which is going to cause us to retire. It's
Yeah.
all nonsense. It's all political. They're giving all the right answers now in the interviews, saying, "Oh, we plan on running next year," and all the rest. When I see it, I will believe it. I doubt it.
A couple of our viewers actually commented in Lagos Fury. Tappett's never had a problem with a mile and a quarter, so it befuddled me that people thought Flightline would.
Well, they were just looking for excuses to beat him. I mean, he's never been 2 turns, and he's never been that distance. So guess what? Now he proved he can go 2 turns, and he proved he can go the distance. It was a Secretariat-like performance. The last time you saw a race like that was the Belmont Stakes, when Secretariat won by 25 lengths or whatever the hell it was. Didn't it look
It's
just
too
like
bad
that?
it wasn't like like the Breeders' Cup. If he does that at the Breeders' Cup, then it goes into lore.
Yeah, but that made, believe me, that made national news. It was all over the place. ESPN, everybody had it. I mean, it made the headlines in there. I mean, listen, it's not like he won by a length or a head,
Sure.
or he won by the length of the stretch,
Yeah.
and he missed the track record by whatever 15. He could have broke the track record. He was
Sure.
eased up the last 16th of a mile.
Yep.
He never rode.
And
What's great about this horse and no other horse, why he's different than other horses, is because if you ever watch his races, he draws off from the competition. As he gets to the wire, he's getting further away from them. Where other races, you'll always see horses closing the gap, closing the gap, closing the gap. Never happens with this horse. This is a freak of nature. He really is.
and what do you think his odds are going to be in the
I don't
Classic?
know, but the future book closed yesterday at 4-5, which would probably be an overlay because he's not going to be 4-5 on Breeders' Cup Day. He'll be a lot shorter.
Okay. Yeah. Jack Woods, another one of our viewers, said field size, crowd noise, these types of examples of desperate, far reaching, feeble excuses to why Flightline can lose just proves why he deserves to be 1-9 in the Classic.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And Jack is 100% right. Just like before the Pacific Classic. Oh, let's see him go the distance. Let's see him go 2 turns. Let's see him get a mile and a quarter. He's answered every question ever asked. How many horses have 5 lifetime starts and have won by a combined 65 lengths? Zero.
Yes.
Okay, zero.
Let's try to. We'll have to find the exacta at the Breeders' Cup Classic.
That's what you do. That's what you listen. I try to be country grammar last time. I was wrong. I was trying to get value out of a 1-9 shot. You're not even supposed to bet those races, in all honesty. That's a thing of beauty. You could just watch that. You don't need to bet any money to get the juices flowing when you see that performance.
All right, so Kentucky Downs now in this race 9. So taking a look at it, and this is an interesting race. So I was looking at a way where, because you were talking about experience, and if you would just talk about experience, like if we want to zero in on horses that have raced here before, then I would take a look at the 2 and the 10 in some ways, because they've not only raced here but they've won here. But the other horses that I liked before I would go down there were the 5, 7, and 12. So what do I do in that spot? And tell me who you like, of course, because as you mentioned, experience on this course is going to be important.
It certainly is. Listen, originally I was going to go with Chewing Gum, but then I just couldn't pass up Arzak, the 5.
Yes.
I mean, he's a 4-year-old who's just getting better with each start. I know he's never raced over it, and that's somewhat of a problem. But at 9-2, I'm willing to take my chances. Listen, Chewing Gum ran there twice. He has a win. The 12 horse, like you said, not the 12, the 10. I'm sorry. Yeah, is 1 for 2 at the meet. So the only way you're going to know if you like it is to run over it. And at least we're not taking the favorite. I'm going down with a 9-2 shot, and he'll be every bit of that price. Because when you deal with these 12 horse fields, you don't see 3 to 5 shots in 12 horse fields. Very rarely. I like the 5 there. Arzak, I would use the 2 Chewing Gum, the 7 Gregorian Chant, and the 12 actually. Arrest Me Red underneath. 5 with 2, 7, and 12. If you really get anywhere near 9 to 2, the 5 Arzak is certainly worth some sort of win bet.
Yeah, because again, Arzak's got back-to-back sevens coming in. He never goes backwards on turf over 5 races, so that's really good to know. 6 races, excuse me. And then Gregorian Chan had a 6 in March, 3 6s last year, and a 3-race win streak, so that's impressive. And then you mentioned, of course, Arrest Me Red's coming off back-to-back 8s.
The good thing about Arzak is he runs all over the play. He ran in Saratoga last time out. Before that, Woodbine. Before that, Gulfstream, Belmont, Presque Isle Downs, Monmouth. He doesn't need to take it. He takes his track with him. You know, he does. He's just getting better as a racehorse. So that's why I ended up on him.
All right, so that's race number 9. So once again, for our Patreon members only, we have races 10 and 11 coming up. If you're not a Patreon member, what are you waiting for? Check it out, patreon.com/PrimeSN.